Hi there, I'm primarily posting this video in response to the YouTube video, The One Question All Atheists Fear, which is this guy's question in the form of a statement saying, show me the evidence that God does not exist. Now this is a stupid question, and I'm becoming increasingly annoyed with the amount of Christians who think this is a clever thing to say, and indeed an argument winner. It is far from it. It is stupid, it is facile, it's a cheap shot, and if these people had a modicum of intelligence, they'd realise this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out my answer. I say read out because I initially wrote it as a written answer to post on, below the video, but it was too long. But I didn't want to dilute my answers, so I thought I'd read it out on a video to get the whole thing across. Before I start, there is also another point which I rebut, and that is another thing that this guy was saying on his video, is that atheists are guilty of exactly the same thing they accuse Christians of, which is living in blind faith. Now this is completely wrong, and that's another thing I'm gonna clear up in this answer. The fact that you think this question holds any weight at all shows you are a moron. Of course you can't prove that God doesn't exist. In exactly the same way you can't prove that Father Christmas doesn't exist either, but everyone knows he doesn't. Christians live in blind faith because they live in blind faith that something does exist. Atheists, such as myself, reject all notion of deity and therefore have no faith, not blind faith. In order to prove that something exists, you need cold, hard evidence. Of course you can't supply evidence that God does not exist, because something not existing leaves no trace or evidence for it not existing. Why? Because it doesn't exist. There is nothing, so therefore nothing to show. Either something exists or it doesn't. In order to know that something exists, you need evidence to show for it. If there is no evidence, then one must take the position that it doesn't exist until proven otherwise of evidence. You, as a believer, hold the burden of proof, not the non-believer. As of this moment, I believe that there is a 38-legged monster made of nothing but Mars bars. Prove that that doesn't exist. You can't. It's impossible to show that something doesn't exist if it has never existed. How do we know if something never existed? There never being any evidence of its existence. The atheists that couldn't answer this monstrosity probably just needed time to destroy your question. This question is so stupid that I even created a new YouTube account and therefore username to illustrate my feelings further. Obviously, that last sentence in the context of doing a video doesn't work, but I did in fact change my YouTube account and username. I've forgotten something to what a stupid question was to that effect, which would have you would have seen, which would have added extra emphasis, which I thought was a nice little touch. But yeah, I've just completely nipped those 2 points in the bud very easily indeed. These people are just completely stupid. And anyway, that's all I want to say at the moment. And yes, before I go, I do somewhat ironically look like Jesus Christ.